Amanda here from scrimpingmommy.co.uk, and today I've got a really fun technique to share with you. It's not a new technique, but it's new to me. I thought I'd give it a go and I thought I'd come and share it with you. It's a fantastic inky messy technique, and I saw it on a demonstrator only group and I thought I'm going to give that a try. And here's the card that I created, and the technique is called the Northern Lights technique, and I just thought it was awesome. So let's get cracking. So I've started with a black card base, so this is 11 3/4 by 4 1/8, just folded in half. And then I have got a piece of, now this is holographic mirror board. This is out of my personal crafty hoard. If you don't have this, you can use normal mirror board, you can use the champagne foil card, you can use gold, or you could use a coloured background. This is, I just wanted to use it because I think it's really pretty. And then I've used watercolour paper. Okay, so the mirror board measures 3.5 by 5 3/4, and the watercolour paper measures 3.25 by 5.5. So you've just got that little bit of an increment there. Okay, and I've cut it specifically so that it's quite wide, quite narrow at the side, but it's got a wider band top and bottom. I just thought it was a little bit different. Right, so this is what we do to start the technique. So you pick some colours that will go nicely together, and I have picked Night of Navy, Melon Mambo, let me just zoom that a little bit, Bermuda Bay, and Highland Heather. Okay, so I'm just going to put them in the order that I'm going to use them, like so. Alright then, and then I've got a little bucket like this of sponges that I use. When they get really inky, I just rinse them with some light detergent, leave them to dry, and I reuse them. Okay, these are just sponges cut into quarters. These are the Stampin' Up ones, which I will say are awesome. These are cheaper ones from the pound shop. They do the same things. The Stampin' Up ones are slightly better quality and they last longer, but you know, use what you've got. So I'm starting with Bermuda Bay. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to get lots of ink on my sponge, okay? And then I'm just going to swipe it up. Let me just move these out, move this up. I'm going to do just a line of colour. Doesn't have to look anything perfect, you just put in a line of colour, okay? As thin or as thick as you want, put plenty on. And then I'm going to have Melon Mambo, which is a lovely bright pink colour, and I'm going to add that, and I'm going to blend it, and as you blend those it gives like a purpley tone when you mix in that green and that pink. So make sure you do overlap them slightly, plenty on. Alright, and then I came in with Highland Heather. Okay, let me get a sponge. Do I want that one? That'll do. Don't like that sponge, it feels funny. That's the thing with the cheaper sponges, they don't take the ink as nice. Keep rubbing, keep adding it. You want plenty on it, and again blend it with that Melon Mambo. And then I'm going back with my Bermuda Bay. I'm back with my Melon Mambo. I'm just going to add some more there because I want it super pink. Back with my Melon Mambo on the end. So I've got like a stripe of these funky colours. Now you will get in a mess. You will absolutely get your fingers covered in ink. But hey ho, it won't kill you. Your hands will wash. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do some stamping. So I've chosen this stamp set, which is called Silhouette Scenes, and I'm choosing the two childlike images there that look like they're looking up at the sky because I just think they're awesome. I love it. Alright, so take that one out, and then I've also used the sentiment that says keep dreaming. And then the other stamp that I've used is actually one of the Christmas sets. So I'm using, this is from the annual catalogue, and I'm mix and matching with what's in the autumn winter, and I'm using the stars, like a little cluster of tiny stars from this one called So Many Stars. Okay, so you can use your stamp sets in combination with each other. So I'm just getting some black ink, and I'm going to just, I want to ink this one up first. Got the little, I think it's a boy, it could be a girl, but I just feel in my bones that it's a little boy there with his binoculars, putting lots and lots of black ink on there, and I'm going to stamp him in this pink section here quite low down. Give it a good press. So I want a real good image. We're stamping onto watercolour paper. So there you go, that's nice. Now if you're wondering if it might be a bit dodgy, use your Stamparatus. I'm just super lazy, so I just like to stick with my blocks. So I'm inking the next one up with my black ink, and then I'm going to put it on the purple section there. Give it a good press. Okay, there we go. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I am now going to bring in Night of Neva. Okay, I'm just going to close my ink pads so I don't get in a big old mess. So I've got my Stampin' Up sponge, because that's the slightly better quality one, and I'm inking with Night of Neva. I'm starting on my glass mat, and I'm going to go in circular motions all the way around the edge of the card first of all. So this is adding Night of Neva. Going heavier at the corners. As I say, I haven't invented this, I'm not claiming it. And it may well be known as another thing as well. When I watched the lady, she called it the Northern Lights technique. And I just thought, ooh, I'm going to share that, it's awesome. Okay, so I'm trying to make it so you've got like an oval of light. So we've got darker on the edges, and then the light is kind of focused towards the children. Okay. Oopsie daisy, spinning around. Okay. Alright. Just a little bit more dark there, because I'm going to put something in this corner here. Okay. There we go. And then what you do is you spray it with water. Now before we start, I'll just show you that mine has got water droplets in it. Now I didn't really want water droplets in it, although I do like the look of it, but my water bottle just blobs. If you've got a really good spray that's got a nice fine spray that doesn't blob, that's even better. But you know, otherwise you're going to get a water droplet effect like mine. So I'm just going to, from quite high up, spray my watercolour paper, get it quite wet so that those inks react and start to kind of spread together. And as you can see, I'm getting that droplet effect. And they will merge together with those inks. Okay, and then when it's got to where I'm happy with it, I'm going to set it with the heat gun. So excuse me one moment whilst I dry my picture. And you can experiment with less ink, more ink, different colours, you know, getting it wetter, leaving it drier. You can have a play with it. That is the fun of ink techniques, and that is why I love them. Nearly dry. If it starts to walk, turn it over and heat it from the other side. That'll do for me as dry. I'm just going to grab my very beautifully coloured towel and wipe my desk because I don't want any more water now. I'm done with the water. Alright, so there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of stamping with some white ink. I've got some white ink just here, and I'm going to use this. I need another block. Excuse me one moment. So I'm using the stars from the So Many Stars set. I'm inking it up with some white ink. Okay. And then I'm just going to do a little galaxy of stars. Okay. That you'll just be able to see just towards the edge and to the right corner of the card. Let me turn it that way. Okay, so they're quite subtle, but they're there. Alright, you could heat emboss them if you want it to be a stronger look. I wanted a subtle look. So now what I can do is just give that a minute, just give it a quick dry. So now I can mount that on my holographic card. I'm going to use some tear tape because it's holographic card. Wet glue will maybe take a while to dry, and I don't want to risk getting glue on the parts of that mirror board or foil card, whatever you call it, and making a mess of it basically. So there we go. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to get that tape off. Alright. And you're not going to get the same look twice, unless you're, you know, super clever. But that's the joy of it. You can, like I say, try it with different colours. You don't have to use the colours I've used. Have a look what you've got in your stash. And just find an awesome stamp set that you can stamp in black. Because that is the magic, and that's what makes it look awesome when you are setting it against that Northern Lights background technique. Is that straight? It's never seen straight. Get off. Oh, I don't think I can get it off. Oh, it's super strong tape. But it's like mirror board, so it might come off. I'm not happy with the straightness of that. Please don't rip my card. No, I'm going to have to commit, and I'm just going to have it wonky. Don't matter. I'll send it to my friend. She won't mind if she has a wonky card. Don't matter, if I can't straighten it, it's not too bad, it's just slightly offline there, but hey ho, don't matter. I'm not going to ruin my card for the sake of it being, you know, a couple of millimetres on the wonk. It doesn't matter. Never ever ever waste your card just because it's not perfect. You know, these cards are made, handmade cards are made with love, not perfection. And we aren't robots, and sometimes things are a little bit skew. If it doesn't matter. We've had fun in the technique, we've got an awesome card, the recipient won't even notice that it's probably, they're not going to go, oh, I don't want that card. No, it's not good enough, it's wonky. It's not going to happen, is it? They're not going to say that, so we're not going to worry. Right, but I will try and get this bit straight. Okay, so get that on my card nicely. Hold it straight, there we go. And you can hardly really tell, it's just ever so slightly, but not to worry. So now we're going to stamp a sentiment. I did pre-cut. I pre-cut some cardstock. This is actually very vanilla. I didn't want white. I don't know why, don't ask me. And I did pre-cut it to, I think it's 3/4 of an inch. Because I'm not very good at cutting sentiments straight, so if I cut a strip and then stamp on it, it's easier. Have I got that upside down? Right, so I try and stamp that straight-ish. There we go. It says keep dreaming. Certainly will. There we go. give that a chop. We want some, are we going to have it on scrap, have it on some scrap holograph board? Or do we want it on black? No, I think I want it on black. I'll put it on some black. Right, so I just need to put the lids on my inks. I don't want them drying out, if I'm honest. Right, I need my tape back. And I'm keeping it fairly flat so that, you know, to send in the mail. If it was going in with a parcel that was going to be a large letter anyway, I would likely put it on dimensionals. But you've got a slot in the UK for large letters and normal letters that's about the width of a gnat's hair. So, unless you want to pay extra, you've got to keep it super flat. I've gone before and I've gone, oh, come on, it's got a sequin on it. And they've gone, no, I'm sorry, that's a large letter. I feel like crying. So, I'm keeping this on flat. So, some more tape on there, like so. Right, take your pick tool. If you're like me and I've got no nails at the moment because I've been doing gardening and all sorts, so they look like trotters. I'm just going to bob that down in the bottom corner, making sure you've got the same gap at the side as I have at the bottom. And there we go, that is our beautiful Northern Lights technique. And here's the one I did earlier that's not 1K. So as you can see, you can get similar results, but it's never going to be exactly the same. Go and give that a try, it's awesome fun. Get nice and inky and messy and get some creative cards made. And get them mailed. Make a card and send a card. These are going out in the post to some of my team, I think. Now I've made them. Keep dreaming's the perfect sentiment. So there you go. I hope you'll try it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you again soon. Bye.